Hello everyone, my name is Nikki, and if you're a regular viewer of the TVI channel, you will know me as Mrs. TVI. I don't have a car, but I do have a GoPro and an interest in history, architecture, but more specifically, cemeteries. It's time to see where I am and what I'm getting up to in my corner of the TVI channel today. Hi everyone, Mrs. TVI here, back for another cemetery wandering. Today I'm in Sheffield and I'm at another Victorian cemetery. We are at the Sheffield General Cemetery. Let's go take a look. This cemetery is actually an English, it's a listed landscape, English heritage listed landscape. It opened, referring to my notes, in 1836 and then closed for burials in 1978. The first thing that you see as you come in is this absolutely massive chapel, which unfortunately is closed, and it has been for quite some while now. You can't actually see into it or get into it or anything like that, but this is at the very top of the cemetery just as you come in, and then we can take a walk along some of these paths and we will find some other notable buildings and structures, including a gatehouse, a nonconformist chapel, and there's a few other bits and bobs that we will see along the way. But just look at these, how massive are these tombs here. I mean, I reckon you must be as tall as that one, do you think, Andy?
Possibly.
And there's one at the back that's even taller. You will see some fabulous monuments in here, including to a steelmaking family, shopkeepers, and if we can find it, even a sweetie icon. Let's go and see what we can find. So just at Cemetery Road, you'll find here the Egyptian gate, and it's got a winged sun, I think it is, at the top, and then Ouroboros ironwork on the gate, the snake eating its own tail. So that's the first sort of real feature that we found in here. Lots of new bits are actually being placed in the cemetery, like information boards, which is really nice to see, and some new benches as well. But as you can see here, we've still got a lot of it that's closed off because it's in a state of disrepair. So just by, this is the cemetery office. I think this one would have been the cemetery keeper's home at one point. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But that's another Egyptian style building. Looks like since the last time I came here, some of the footpaths have had a notable improvement, which is really good.
Which way?
I think we'll follow Hannah and go down.
Okay.
Certainly better than in Ward's End Cemetery. You wouldn't believe some of those footpaths in Ward's End. We were tripping over roots and everything. At least we're not doing that here now, eh? So if you are a Sheffield or from around the Sheffield area, you will definitely know the name of Firth. So Firth Rixons were a steelworks in Sheffield, and this is the guy behind it. This is the grave and plot for Mark Firth. Cemetery's undergoing quite a lot of restoration and renovation work, and there's lots of signs with information dotted around in it. Really quite interesting to read, and it tells you a little bit about what life was like and so on when the cemetery was in full operation. Yeah, let's have a look and see what else we can find. So there's another grand monument here. the Nicholsons. Now somewhere in here, and I can't remember offhand exactly where it is, the grave for the Cole brothers, which operated, owned and operated and founded what became John Lewis's in Sheffield, is somewhere around here, but I'll be darned if I can find it. I'm sure I'll come across it. So this is the Dissenters Chapel, so I'm not going too close because there are people that are working on it at the moment. As I said, this cemetery is undergoing some restoration. These steps here are another massive improvement. Last time I was here, this was very treacherous to walk around. But yeah, let's go and have a look and see what else we can find. So it's took me a few minutes to find, but this is the grave of John Cole, who was one of the Cole brothers of Sheffield. It kind of shows a bit because some of the roads of this cemetery are actually blocked off. As I said, with it undergoing this renovation work. But that is huge. I mean, Andy, if you just go and try and stand next to it as close as you can. Now, Andy is about what, 5'8"?
Something like that.
So, what do you reckon? 15 foot? Maybe a foot touch higher?
Easy.
Yeah, huge. I mean, that is one sort of massive display there of wealth, really, for John Cole. So, but yeah, we're heading down towards the bottom. There's like some tiered sort of sections here. How much we'll be able to access, I don't know. And there's also an Egyptian and another, I think it's another like Egyptian entrance, which is just down there by the Porter Brook. So we'll go and have a look. So just as we head down to the bottom gatehouse, there's another impressive row of monuments here. And again, you're probably looking at 10 to 15 foot high for each of them. Some people did have some money in Sheffield. Of course, we did have a lot of people that didn't have money. There are a number of paupers' graves in here. And people who were victims of the Sheffield floods were also interred here. People who didn't have an awful lot of money. But this is the gatehouse at the bottom. Another Egyptian style piece of architecture, and as you can see, we're just very limited as to where we can walk because of the renovation work that's going on here. But yeah, we'll carry on and see where we can get. You can hear the sounds of water. That's because that sort of just behind here is the Porter Brook. So just underneath here, I don't know if you can see that where my finger is, there's lots of doorways, and these are catacombs. Now, many of these were not taken up as places of interment and do remain empty, but you know, this is kind of like a tiered gallery, I suppose, with burials in it. So yeah, we've got some catacombs here at Sheffield too. And again, because of the restoration work, this is as close as that we can get. And just in front of me here is something that you would rarely get to see. And this is a catacomb sort of room, if you like, because you can see the doorway, but there's no roof on it. The roof has obviously collapsed. Doesn't look to be any burials in there, and if there were, they have been moved. But yeah, that's something a little bit different, isn't it? The inside of a catacomb. And just as another angle of that catacomb here, looks like it's the very end one of the row that's actually sort of facing down the row, but the road does sort of curve away from it. So yeah, quite interesting that. Looks like we've got a little story nook here. There's a chair, lots of stumps to sit on, and an open part for a fire pit. Quite cool. So there we can see the Porter Brook. It runs along the lower boundary of the cemetery, and the riverside path there. Lots of graffiti. Sheffield's pretty much known for that. Let's keep on walking through. In the middle of the cemetery, we found a little pond with a danger deep water sign. It's down at sort of the lower end, and if you wanted to bring a picnic, don't worry, don't get your face. There's even a little bench to sit on. And then, you know, you've got some more the cemetery grounds to the back of you. Let's keep going. Right, so I'm hot, definitely. I look it, I feel it. Are you warm?
No, I'll be honest with you, I'm not.
So I'm going to wrap this one up. Now, in terms of the cemetery, there's not an awful lot left more to see. We can't get to Bassett's grave because it's blocked off with the building works. Some can't get any closer to Catacombs. There's an awful lot going on here, which is unfortunate, but it's one of those things. It is what it is. Now, just a couple of things that I want to sort of touch on. So the first thing is this section of the cemetery here, which just looks like a green space. Now, there are burials here, and any headstones were removed to make way for that green space. And as you can see, dogs get exercised on this part regularly. It's been quite busy here today with dogs. We've seen a fair few poochers. But I am going to wrap this video up. But if there are any extra shots, I'll ask Andy if he'll put them in the end of this video to a bit of music, so you can just see what the landscape here looks like now at Sheffield General. But other than that, that's all from me. So thanks ever so much for watching. Take care, and we will see you on the next one. So bye bye, Andy.
Bye bye, Andy.
Bye for now.